afternoon, thank you very much and welcome here to Coralstown Kinnegad GA Club in County Westmeath for the third of our bumper weekend of Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Finals. The Division 4 decider between Mayo and Wicklow. After the excitement of Crow Park yesterday, it promised to be even just as thrilling in Kinnegad today. Later on we've Wexford against Cavan in Division 3, but we'll focus on our first game, Mayo against Wicklow, and Elaine Aylwood joining myself, Darren Kelly, in the commentary box. An opportunity for both counties to win a first, well, for Wicklow, their first ever national final. Of course, Mayo won the Nancy Berry Cup last year, but they'll be looking to move up the ladder now.
Absolutely. Look, we're both looking to build on great work done over the last year or so. I suppose in both cases, you know, both teams knew enough to adult camogie and what strides they've made since they've got there. Mayo, as you said, winning the Nancy Murray last year, look, and are here today on merit unbeaten in their group. So look, they played earlier in the year in the group stages and Mayo had a 6-point win that day. So look, I'm sure Wicklow will have learned a lot from that. They've had their own big wins this year, you know, and are back here having only been beaten by Mayo earlier in the league group. So huge game today, and look, I suppose it's who'll have learned most from that group game meeting that will probably come out on top here today.
And they are two young sides, as you touched on as well. Wicklow just back in 2019, Mayo last year. But when you look at the two respective captains, Maeve Delaney for Mayo is just 19, but Katie Tyrrell, her counterpart for Wicklow, is just 18 years of age.
Yeah, look, I think I read somewhere last night that the oldest player on the Mayo team is 24 years of age. So look, two, as you said, really youthful teams, full of abundance, and at that age, like, you don't carry any baggage into big games like this. There's no nerves or anything. The young players love to get out on the big stage and perform, and I'm sure we'll see that from both sets of sides today. Look, and they've had super underage success as well. You know, Wicklow beat Mayo in the Minor C Championship final last weekend and have had their own schools and club success in the last couple of weeks as well. So two clubs really on the way up, and I suppose when you look at Numberida from Mayo and their Junior B club final win a couple of years ago, and then Knocknana and Wicklow this year, so two clubs following a similar path, and I suppose whoever wins here today will take a massive step up that ladder.
As you mentioned, we were at that All-Ireland Junior B final when Knocknana beat Derrylaughlin from Tyrone too, and while Mayo with the story of 2021 and Cavan 2020, it's certainly been about Wicklow so far, that minor success, their win-in games, beating Tyrone, that was a big step up. And you know what, they did a bad start against Mayo when these sides met in the group stages. They came back into the contest. If they can avoid that today, they have a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Mayo struck early that day and haven't made the journey down. You know, often you think maybe it would be the home team that will settle quickest, but it wasn't. It was Mayo on that day, and look, they held that lead. Then they were able to keep Wicklow at arm's length despite a spirited enough comeback from Wicklow in that second half. And look, weather conditions on that day were atrocious, so that probably didn't help the cause. So look, Wicklow will be keen to not let that happen again today. They look to hold Mayo in the early stages, get a foothold into the game, and you never know what's going to happen from there. There is a strong breeze out here, so whoever plays with that will need to make a count, I'd say, in the first half.
And for supporters of the respective counties, great work being done at underage, as you said there as well. They're working their way into Kinnegad. The first of two big finals here today as well, but certainly a thrilling opener.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think this could prove to be the closest game of the weekend. You know, as I said, they're two teams who have tracked one another's progress really, really well at club, at schools, at minor, and now at adult level. So they're here today, I suppose, to fight out to see who's going to come out on top in Division 4.
Well, stay with us here. Louise Riley from Cavan is the referee. Mayo against Wicklow. We'll run through the teams in just a moment. The third of our four Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League finals this weekend, and we're here all day. 3 o'clock Wexford against Cavan, but coming up at 1 o'clock it's Mayo against Wicklow in Division 4, and we'll run through the teams in just a moment. So here we are now, and you can hear in the background the teams being announced, but we'll run through them with you if you haven't seen them already. The Mayo side are going to be 1 to 15 as named, a consistent selection from their manager Jimmy Lyons. In goal number 1 is Avian Crawley, full back line 2 Eva Doherty, 3 Amy Mulkeen and 4 Grania Delaney. The half back line were number 5 Shauna Golden, centre back number 6 is Ava Lambert, and 7 is Quiva Delaney. In midfield is the captain Maeve Delaney, 9 is Rachel Lyons, the half forward line 10 Fanula McLaughlin, 11 Sarah Saoirse O'Brien, and 12 Emily Kelly. The inside line, top of the right, number 13 Saoirse Delaney, full forward number 14 Lisa Scahill, and top of the left were number 15 Emer Delaney. A settled team, Elaine, an unbeaten run Mayo have had. They haven't lost since losing the league semi-final to Cavan last year.
Yeah, look, and as you said, a really settled team, and they've grown in every game. I suppose good victories along the way, and they'll take great confidence from that win down in Wicklow earlier in the league game. Really form players, so obviously the management team sticking with those form players, hoping to get the result here today.
Wicklow have made a few changes from the 1 to 15 that was announced during the week. We'll run through them now. In goal, where number 21 is Jenny Tyrrell. She replaces Caitlin Hughes. The full back line, 2 Alice Mulhall, 3 is Jade Byrne, and 4 is Casey Kelly. In the half back line, right wing, where number 19 now is Aoife Conley. Aoife Conley coming in for Maura Deegan. Centre back number 6 is Lisa Hogan, and 7 is Ciara Kelly. In midfield, where number 8 Aoife Kelly, partner by number 9 Faye Corrigan. Half forward line, 10 Shanna Goichelin. Centre forward now, number 24 is Sophie Birmingham. She replaces Eleanor Carroll Hayes, and 12 is Jessica Maxwell. And the inside line, top of the right, number 13 Katie Tyrrell, full forward number 14 Laura Manley, and top of the left were number 15 Daisy Summer Cullen Dunn. And there's only one player I want to talk about here, Laura Manley. What a weekend she's having, getting married yesterday, looking for a league title today.
Yeah, look, taking a book out of the queue, or a leaf out of the queues in Owler's book, I suppose, from earlier in the year. But look, I suppose league finals come around maybe as rarely as weddings in some places, so certainly nailing her colours to the mast here today. And look, I suppose it's just a sign of the commitment to Camogie and to helping the sport grow down there. So a huge weekend for her, and look, she'll be looking to get a result here today to cap up a big weekend of celebrations.
Shannon, she's a very, very important player for this Wicklow team as well. She's scored 11 points in the campaign so far, but they'll be dependent. If Wicklow are going to do this, they need to avoid a bad start like they had in the group match. But then you look at Katie Tyrrell, 110 in the campaign. Daisy Summer Cullen Dunn, she scored 2-5. Sophie Birmingham named in the team, but has scored 2-4 as well. Great start against Tyrone the opening day as well. Therefore, important players that Wicklow need to perform if they're going to win this league title.
Absolutely. Look, Wicklow will obviously have learned from that league game that they need to shut up shop at the back a little bit, and I suppose that will start then up in their forwards, obviously getting on the score sheet, getting good scores up front, but also putting pressure on Mayo and not letting them build from the back like Mayo would like to do. So if they can get those kind of players in form, get them on enough ball, they'll certainly trouble the Mayo goal. And look, especially given the wind here today, we don't know who's playing what direction yet, but there is a strong breeze blowing there, and as I said, the team that makes the best use of that, I think, in their half will certainly go a long way to winning it.
But of course, we mentioned already Mayo, of course, maybe a year ahead in development. There's a few changes from the team that won the Nancy Murray Cup last year, like you don't have Mairead and Anya Charlton in the side. Helen O'Mahony is on the bench. Eleanor Harrison not starting as well. But these young players, they've been contesting All-Ireland finals, developing a rivalry with the likes of Wicklow and of course Tyrone as well. They're establishing themselves now. It brings a bit of pressure as well, because they will be expected to get the job done. Yeah,
look, when you make that step up, I suppose, and when you are coming on to a team who has a bit of a track record of winning, there is a small little bit of pressure, I suppose, to try and keep that winning. But look, it's a great team to be breaking onto, a team that's competing in finals, that's winning finals, that breeds confidence in itself. And as I said, when you're young and when you're just making the step up, sometimes you just don't take any notice of that pressure and you go on to have some of your best performances. So sometimes when there might be a little bit of pressure perceived from the outside, the players actually thrive under that. And look, I suppose Mayo they're a youthful team all around, but they look to the likes of those young players who have that experience at minor level and that to step up here today and try and get one over on Wicklow.
Now, conditions are ideal here in Kennygap, but there is a wind building up as well. It's blowing to the left now. I haven't seen the toss at the moment to determine which team is attacking which goal in the first half as well, but that wind is going to be a massive factor, and especially when we look at Wicklow's situation, regarding the good start they could do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I suppose the last thing you want to do is, you want to learn, and I suppose a team that learns best from their mistakes, and Wicklow will have been disappointed to concede early goals that day against Mayo, and I suppose that was the cushion then that Mayo had for the rest of the game. So even when Wicklow did mount that second stage comeback, they just couldn't quite reach Mayo having the lead that they had built up in that first half. So look, whoever has the advantage at wind, and look, it has a huge part on puck outs as well, I suppose. Look, puck outs from the left goal, you'd imagine, probably won't make a huge lot of distance, certainly won't clear the 45, I'd imagine. So look, there's a great attacking platform there for whatever team is playing with that breeze to keep a press on the opposition puck outs and try and reap rewards on the scoreboard for it.
And just before we get to the throw in there, as the teams get themselves in position, let's talk about Sean Fleming. Of course, he's done great work with Waterford down the line, led them into an All-Ireland title as well. He's addition into the Wicklow setup. Like, Wicklow came back in 2019, they lost every game they played in 19 and 20, but especially last year you could start seeing the signs of improvement.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and credit him for sticking with them. You know, it's not easy to start up in a place where Camogie hasn't been particularly strong, but look, as we said, he's stuck with them. They've learned and they've built on it, and they find themselves now in a National League final today, which is a massive step for a team, as you said, only really, you know, haven't been beaten in all of 2019. So to get back here today, look, they'll probably go in as underdogs, but I don't think they'll fear that. They beat Mayo in the Minor C final, as I said, last weekend, so that will have given them huge confidence. And look, if Sean has shown anything over the years, is that he'll learn. So I'm sure they'll have learned from that group game, and look, they look to, as we said, get that good start today if they can, and try and build on it then.
As we say that too, as the teams get in position, it's Mayo that'll be attacking the goal to the left in the first half. They will have the advantage of the wind. Wicklow conceded 3 goals in the opening 9 minutes when these sides met in the group stages, but the final score was 3-10 to 13 points. Wicklow didn't let that phase them, got back in the contest as well, and that'll be encouraging for the Garden County. We can see Shanna Goichlin there, wearing number 10 for Wicklow. She is starting off in midfield anyway. Of course, player of the match, Elaine, when we did the commentary in the Knockanana Derry Lawton game as well. She's a big player for Wicklow.
Absolutely. Look, and she wore number 10 that day as well, but actually started at centre back because of the injury concerns Knockanana had before that game, and she had a superb game there that day, so full of running, you know, a footballer as well, so she'll be anxious to make her marker in the middle of the field.
Well, the game is underway, and it's Mayo the first attack down towards the inside line, and this is an opportunity for number 13, who is Finola McLaughlin there, moving inside, goes for a shot at the post. Disappointing effort as well, but the first shot of the game, 15 seconds gone, goes to the left and wide, not like the Wexford team in their start in the Division 2 final on Saturday.
No, not the goal start, but a similar build-up right from the throw-in, I suppose, and Mayo right on the attack, and I suppose how Wicklow retain possession now from their puck-outs will be so important here.
My apologies, that was Saoirse Delaney, of course, who took that shot. Finola McLaughlin is wearing number 10 for Mayo, and there she is in the black and white helmet on your screen, battling for possession as 2 players from Mayo go up against 4 from Wicklow. A third Mayo player has come in, and that's the captain, Maeve Delaney, one of 6 Delaneys on this Mayo team, all related, 3 sets of sisters, and their grandmother, of course, a strong player for Mayo back in the 1950s. But the referee has made the decision that it's going to be a ball out for Wicklow. It's a line ball as well, and it'll be taken by Shanna Goichlin, who's started the game in midfield, but already back in a defensive position, as she did for Knockanana, All-Ireland champions this year. Low ball, but only as far as Finola McLaughlin, the Mayo number 10, and she has the ball there with the kind of more pinkish boots going across the field. A good effort at the post, this has to be said. Is it good enough to go over the bar? It has gone over the bar. A wonderful score to get us underway. Less than 90 seconds gone. Finola McLaughlin with the point. Mayo 1, Wicklow 0.
Yeah, Mayo did really, really well there, you know, from Wicklow possession. Wicklow with the line ball and just couldn't make any inroads with it, and when Mayo did get the chance, Fiona McLaughlin showed a clean pair of heels there, got across in a super score from distance, and I suppose it just shows the strength of that breeze that's out there.
And Jenny Tyrrell there with her first puck out for Wicklow, trying to get it past the 45-metre line. Shanna Goichlin is there as well for Wicklow, but it's the move now, and this is Emer Delaney moving down the right for Mayo, trying to shake off 2 players there as Wicklow mark tightly. They know the danger as the pass comes in for Saoirse O'Brien. Saoirse O'Brien leaves it for a teammate, a shot at the post. It's another score. I think it might be Lisa Scarl to put that over. We'll confirm in a moment, but it's 2 points to 0 to Mayo.
Yeah, and another great score, really well worked through a couple of hands over there, and Mayo just recycling the ball time and time again till they could get the score shooter on the ball, and it was Lisa Scahill that put that one over the bar. So, you know, a superstar from them, and they're really making hay from Wicklow's puck-outs.
Lisa Scahill has scored 3-3 in the league campaign so far. Top player for this Mayo side and a leader in the attack, as Saoirse O'Brien takes possession again and sends it down in toward the direction of Lisa Scahill. The full-back for Wicklow is Jade Byrne. She's an experienced player as well. That ball goes out over the right and wide. A few wides in the early stages, a couple of them for Mayo at the moment, but it's still early stages as both teams settle into a very, very important contest. The winners of this match to get promoted to Division 3 of the Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League in 2023. Jenny Tyrrell, the goalkeeper, again sends the ball out, trying to beat the 45-metre line. Already you can see Finola McLaughlin there, just getting a hand on the ball, getting possession, trying to find a teammate. Good defending from Wicklow, but they haven't managed to clear the ball. Shanna Goichlin, the player that had it in that occasion. It's won now by Alice Mulhall, and the referee had originally spotted a high tackle on the Wicklow number 10, so it's going to be a free out for them.
Yeah, and look, Wicklow dealing a little bit better, I think, with that puck. It probably got a little bit more distance on it to this side. Did really, really well. Alice Mulhall to get down on it, win possession. There was foul coming out and the resulting free out for Wicklow.
Just looking at the Wicklow team, well, it looks like a few of their players have gone into defensive mode. They haven't been pulling players back. They still have them in the attack. Just trying to stay a bit deep there to stop Mayo in this early onslaught. As another attack down towards the left flank for Mayo, looking for Saoirse Delaney. She wears number 13. She has the ball. She tries to get away from Alice Mulhall. Saoirse Delaney on the run. Good challenge there from Shanna Goichlin. Getting in the way, winning possession back for Wicklow. The referee spotted something she didn't like. Indeed, there's an injury to Saoirse Delaney. Just going to be a hold up in play. We look at the clock, just 4 minutes gone. Saoirse Delaney, I can tell you, a key player for that attack. It's going to be a Wicklow ball nonetheless, and we'll restart the action in a moment. Saoirse is okay, and this is going to be taken by Jade Byrne. So Jade Byrne takes the free for Wicklow. I was going to tell you, Saoirse Delaney actually played in the half-time exhibition of the 2017 All-Ireland Hurling semi-finals. Herself and Fionnuala McLaughlin growing up together, coming through the ranks, and they've experienced Croke Park as well. Mayo would love to be in Croke Park this year if they can negotiate the All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie Championship. That's a long way down the line. They're focused here on trying to win this Division 4 league title, as their centre-back Ava Lambert, who's played in midfield before, comes out the field but gets stopped by Wicklow, who get their first chance to really press the Mayo defence in this match. Again, Ava Lambert with the ball, gets a touch to gain a few yards, not too many, but it might be enough for Fionnuala McLaughlin to go on the run again. And this is Fionnuala McLaughlin with the space up in Kenny Gadd. No pressure on her, she's a player in front, she might go herself, gives the pass down inside for Saoirse Delaney, just slightly overhit there. Jade Byrne will come out to meet this, but Saoirse Delaney has control of the ball, and those two players, I mentioned how well they work together. Shot from Saoirse Delaney, it goes over the bar. Well, that's a score as good as you'll see many of the four finals this weekend. Saoirse Delaney finishing it off, but Fionnuala McLaughlin's move set it up.
Absolutely, and great defence from Mayo. You know, they came under a lot of pressure from Wicklow there, but worked the ball out really, really well. And as I said, Fionnuala McLaughlin with a superb run, and saw the run then of Saoirse Delaney inside her. Thought the pass might have been a little bit overhit, but Saoirse did really, really well to keep it in play. Jink back in double, and super score then from her from out on the end line. A great score for Mayo right from the Wicklow attack.
Very acute angle it was as well, and of course we must remember Ava Lambert's part in winning a couple of balls to get it out of the defence in the first place. 3 points to nil, 5.5 nearly 6 minutes gone in this Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 4 final for 2022, and it's Mayo using the win, that has to be remembered, in the early stages, trying to put pressure on Wicklow. And this is Saoirse Delaney again on the move. You can hear the Mayo support getting behind Saoirse as she goes for a shot at the post. The yes is said because it's gone over the bar. Another score, 6 minutes gone, 4 points to nil.
Yeah, and she's a player that's in form in that inside line for Mayo, so you could see Maeve Delaney straight away when she won that ball in the middle of the field. It was going down to Saoirse Delaney's corner, and you know, out in front really, really well. Won a super ball, took on her marker, and a super score for her again.
Two superb points there from Saoirse Delaney to double the lead, 4 points to nil, and Fionnuala McLaughlin causing problems there. She goes up against the number 19 for Wicklow, which is Aoife Connolly, but it's Fionnuala McLaughlin that wins the ball. Turns, remember, she got the first point of the game doing this, but Shanna Goichlin wasn't going to let her do it twice. However, the Wicklow have not managed to gain the ball back. Mayo moving it up the field again, and Lisa Scal has possession there, goes for a kick to play a bit of football in Mayo, I'm told, down in the direction of Saoirse Delaney. Saoirse Delaney again, the similar angle to the second last score that she got. She's gotten inside, she might go for more here, bats the ball over the bar, showed good awareness there as well, realised she'd limited space, puts it over the bar, 5 points to nil.
Yeah, and look, she's going to be the target woman up front from a Mayo point of view. Every ball they get now is going to want to go down into that corner. She's a player that's on form in there, and maybe there's a switch maybe that Wicklow need to look at inside there. Did really, really well again to come in along the end line there, and great improvisation then just to flick it off the boss of the hurl over the bar rather than trying to get the strike in.
Could be a couple of switches that Wicklow need to look at as well, because 10 and 13 for Mayo are just causing mayhem at the moment when they have the ball and they have the support act there. But Wicklow have players as well like Aoife Kelly, who wear number 8 there, just trying to move it out. But you can see Mayo, they've just shown their experience from over the previous year and what they've achieved under Jimmy Lyons, and they've managed to get it inside the Wicklow 45 metre line again. It's a scrum for possession. The Six Nations are on today, but we're watching Alice Mulhall trying to gain a bit of ground, but it's gone backwards, and if Saoirse Delaney wins this ball, it could be danger here. Good work by Jade Byrne, the Wicklow fullback. Did enough to get it out of danger just for now, but it's a Mayo player that's going to win the race. It's going to be Saoirse Delaney, and she's going to have another go. Turns inside, goes for a shot at the post, and that one's gone over the bar again. She can't miss at the moment. 8 minutes gone. It's 6 points to nil to Mayo.
Yeah, and she's a player that, as I said before, she's really on form in there. Did really well to pick there. Sold the dummy perfect. Got in a super strike off her right hand side, and I think Wicklow may have made the change now, and they've switched cornerbacks over onto her. So look, she's obviously going to be the target woman inside, but look, Wicklow probably need to look at stopping the supply of ball out the field. Maybe she looks like the kind of a player now on form in there today that's really, it's going to be tough to stop her inside, so trying stopping the supply outside will be key to her influence.
The wind has settled down at the moment, but not by much, as Mayo win possession again through Aoife Doherty, and Aoife Doherty sends it down towards the attack as well, as Mayo tried to use the right as well. Emer Delaney wearing number 15 in possession. This might work, but it was working its way towards Lisa Scal, but Saoirse O'Brien, I think the ball just got between her legs at the moment. Either way, Lisa Scal has the ball now, might give it back to Saoirse, and this is an opportunity for Saoirse O'Brien to go for a shot at the post. She puts the ball over the bar. Mayo, look at this heel, he's looking ominous, Elaine. 9 minutes gone, 7 points to nil.
Yeah, and I suppose it's just how easily they dealt with that last Wicklow attack, you know, broken down on the half, on their Wicklow's half forward line, the clearance, the long clearance with that wind behind them, all the way up to the full forward line where Emer Delaney gathered, and from there, look, a lovely little bit of interplay between Lisa Cahill and Saoirse O'Brien, and another score on the board for Mayo.
Wicklow haven't conceded any goals yet, but they have to stop the stream of points coming as Jessica Maxwell wins the ball and gives it to Shannon Goichlin. But the two number 10s getting to know each other, and Fionnuala McLaughlin doing enough. And in to help out was also Maeve Delaney, and a free is won for Mayo on the 65-metre line. The breaks just going Mayo's way at the moment. They know exactly what they need to do and exactly where they want to be. Maeve Delaney takes the free, sending it down in the direction of Saoirse. They are one set of sisters, Maeve and Saoirse. I'll tell you about the rest in a moment. Saoirse looking for a 5th point in this early stages. Sends it down. Lisa Scal tried to knock it forward. Wicklow did enough to get bodies in the way, but it comes back for Emily Kelly, who'll go for a shot, blocked down again into the hands of the goalkeeper Jenny Tyrrell, wearing number 21. But between the sticks and Maeve Delaney does enough to get a touch again. Wicklow have the ball on the 45-metre line, just trying to bring it up through Casey Kelly, and Casey with the green and yellow helmet turns on her right hand side and sends it down the field again, looking for Laura Manley. And Laura Manley, we talked about what a weekend she's having. She'd love to finish it off with that trophy that's in front of us in the commentary box. You can't see it on camera at the moment. We might show you at some stage, but Wicklow have to get the ball further than the 65-metre line. You might have just spotted it there as Aoife Doherty moves it down again in the direction of Saoirse Delaney. That will be a Wicklow ball. A brief reprieve for Wicklow. Shannon Goichlin going to leave it for Casey Tyrrell, captain, who's come back in defence to help the cause, as Eileen said, trying to just stop the attacks that are going on. And it's Katie Tyrrell takes it, but straight to Aoife Doherty. Aoife Doherty going to launch another attack down in the direction of Lisa Scal, if she can get a touch, but Emer Delaney is there as well. 14 and 15, this is Lisa Scal, 3 goals already, goes to the point, puts it over the bar. As simple as you like. 11 minutes gone, 8 points to nil to Mayo.
Yeah, and again it came from Wicklow possession on the sideline here in front of us, a ball that they just couldn't retain in the forwards, and you know, credit Ava Lambert back there. Anything that does get down, she's quick to break up attacks and set Mayo on the counter attack. And look, every time they get that ball into that inside line, they look really, really dangerous up there, and that's why they're 8-0 up on the scoreboard.
Jenny Tyrrell will take the puck out again, gets more distance, and I think Wicklow might gain more to get a bit of distance. Granted, Shauna Golden got underneath that for Mayo on that occasion, and now it's Fionnuala McLaughlin again in possession, turns on her right hand side, sends it straight down towards the attack. Wicklow win the race in defence on that occasion. Jade Byrne sending it back towards the middle of the field, but Rachel Lyons, who was playing in defence during Mayo's run to the Nancy Murray Cup last year, is now a midfielder and leaves it off for Shauna Golden. Shauna Golden on the left, just lost a bit of control of the ball when she wanted to get into Saoirse Delaney, and it's won by Casey Kelly. And Casey Kelly on the 45-metre line, but Wicklow just maybe eased the nerves as well, finding it difficult to string a few passes together. This is good work as Aoife Connolly gives it to Faye Corrigan. Faye Corrigan, who started the All-Ireland minor success for Wicklow against Mayo just a few weeks ago. She knows how to beat Mayo, and can she help them get their first score of the game? Jessica Maxwell, wearing number 12, can find support. Good defending. Amy Mulkeen is the number 3 for Mayo, and she's there in support. Looking for that Rachel Lyons back in defence. I just mentioned she's playing midfield, but she has experience in defence. The ball goes out over the line, the far side of the field. Wicklow ball. Yeah,
and that's better from Wicklow up front. You know, did really well there to hold up the Mayo full back line from getting out with that ball, and it was the long ball in. So look, if they can keep within touch and distance of Mayo in this first half, you feel like, you know, they're still in with a chance. There is a strong breeze up there, and they've just shown that if they can get enough ball in there, put enough pressure on the Mayo full back line, that they are capable of maybe creating chances.
Well, there's a chance they need to get something out of it. A kick towards the post just goes to the right and wide, but it's the first scoring chance of the game. Like the first time, Elaine, does Wicklow have threatened the Mayo defence. Just need to do that a few more times and eventually scores will come.
Yeah, look, it's the first time they've probably got inside the 45, and credit to them. And you know, they got back in with that long ball, went in over the head of that Mayo half back line. So look, if they can get enough ball in there, they just need to curtail, I suppose, Mayo's influence out the field. And look, when they turn with that wind in the second half, you'd imagine the puck outs and everything will be going that little bit longer, and they'll probably create a little bit more up front. But from now to half time, I suppose it's just about trying to get a foothold in this game and try and limit what Mayo's chances are up up front.
Shannon Goichlin there takes the sideline cut to just trickle away from Finola McLaughlin. Jessica Maxwell has grown into this game, reading it well, but so is Shauna Golden, who got a touch as well. And the two number 10s getting together again, and the referee is going to throw this ball in. Elaine, I was enjoying the battle between Aisling Thompson and Niamh Kilkenny, the Division 1 final last night. I'm certainly enjoying the battle here between Shannon Goichlin and Finola McLaughlin in this match.
Yeah, it's going to be as good as any we'll see over the weekend. And look, as I said, they're players that obviously know one another. They've played a couple of times already, so they're building up that bit of a rivalry, and there's nothing like a bit of familiarity to breed a bit of contempt in a game.
And you can see it there with the challenges going in, nobody leaving anything behind. Maeve Delaney just causing the foul on Katie Tyrrell, the two captains getting to know each other, and Katie Tyrrell right in front of us here in the commentary box, about to take this free, about 60 yards out from the goal now. It's against the wind, it has settled down a little bit but still favours Mayo. Katie Tyrrell takes the free, sending it down towards the house, hoping one of our teammates can get on this and get Wicklow off the mark in this game. But there's an opportunity here, surely. Another shot at the post. I think it was Laura Manley in the occasion, goes to the right and wide, but Elaine, as we said, Wicklow are starting to ask a few questions.
Yeah, look, they seem like they found their foothold now, and they've managed to batten down around the middle of the field. Mayo are not winning as much clean possession there, and look, if they can get a couple of more shots and a bit more possession, it's going to build their confidence inside.
Wicklow have really built up there. I'm going to tell you a story about them in a moment, but Ava Lambert launches another Mayo attack down towards Lisa Scal. Lisa Scal tries to send it into Saoirse Delaney. She probably didn't realise she had time to go in a bit further herself. However, again, it has been the team of this match. Mayo are getting in to win the secondary ball after losing possession. They're doing that more times than Wicklow are at the moment, and that's why they lead this match by 8 points. Rachel Lyons to Shauna Golden on the 45, attacking from a few of the Mayo players, trying to bat the ball in front of the body. The pass comes to Maeve Delaney. She'll go for a shot at the post. Maeve Delaney puts the ball over the bar. They worked hard for that, but they got the reward.
Absolutely, yeah. It looked like they were going to have the shot off for a long time before that from the left hand corner, but really, really patient, really good build up, recycled the ball, and it was a super ball across to Maeve Delaney then, who found herself in enough space around the centre of the field to get that shot away and utilise the wind fully to drop that one over the crossbar.
I was going to tell you a story about Wicklow as Aoife Connolly tries to deal with this ball. There are only 12 players in their panel at the end of the 2020 campaign, really struggling to field, and it was looking like the Wicklow project at Adult wasn't going to work out, but the good work behind the scenes by so many, not just at underage but also at adult level, and Sean Fleming coming into the setup. He's a panel of 31 here representing Wicklow in this final, and regardless of the results, they've made progress this year so far, and they'll be certainly among the contenders, if not one of the favourites, to win the Nancy Murray Cup later in the year. The Delaney sisters, Maeve and Saoirse, trying to combine there down the left. Saoirse O'Brien is coming to help out Mayo too, but Wicklow getting bodies in there as Casey Kelly tries to get a touch, but this is dangerous again as Saoirse O'Brien has the ball, sends a pass across to Lisa Scal. She might go low, she does go low, it's a goal! It's a goal for Mayo. It was coming, I suppose, in one way, and it's Lisa Scal that puts the ball into the back of the net. 1-9 to no score. It was coming.
Yeah, it certainly was coming. Mayo had threatened for the full 13 minutes of this game so far, and I suppose when the chance did come, then Lisa Scal did really, really well to put it away, but it was a ball that had built up from the free. Maeve Delaney took up the line here to Saoirse, and they did really well to retain possession. She lost the hurl, but got the support in from Saoirse O'Brien then as well, and just Lisa Scal then found herself in that space in on goal, and no choice but to go low and hard, and it's a real boost now for Mayo.
As Lisa Scal's fourth goal of the league campaign. She came in with 3-3 into this match, and now Sophie Birmingham, who started off Wicklow's campaign with 2-4 in their opening game against Tyrone, just outside the 45-year line. She's wearing 24 today, but I bet you 2-4 and 24. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe she likes that jersey. Either way, this battle for possession is outside the 50-metre line as Aoife Kelly takes possession in the green helmet for Wicklow. Good pass off for Sophie Birmingham. She has a player to the left. That's Laura Manley. Just gets away from Laura Manley in that occasion. However, she has time to retrieve it, wins the ball back, turns on her right, goes for a shot at the post. Wicklow are finally off the mark. It's Laura Manley who gets the point after 17 and a half minutes. 1 point to Wicklow, 1-9 to Mayo.
Yeah, look, and she probably looked the most likely up there to get a score if it was going to come. She has a couple of shots already and just hadn't quite found the target, but on that occasion did really well to control the ball that came across the square for her, spun back in a super shot, and it just gets Wicklow up and running.
They needed that score at that particular time. The wind is starting to pick up again, favouring Mayo for another 12 and a half minutes as Saoirse O'Brien is down the right. 11 points between the sides. Wicklow trying to deal with the pressure as Mayo just come hunting. They smell blood here. Emer Delaney, we're number 15, has the ball from Mayo out the right, sends it inside, looking for the dangerous players, and Wicklow need to be careful. Gone out for a 45. Sometimes, like a soccer player in a corner, probably was a safe decision to get the ball away because Mayo's two chief attackers were lurking.
Yeah, you could see Saoirse Delaney reading that one lovely as it was coming across the square, and you just feel that if Jade Byrne maybe hadn't got the hurl to it, that it was going to drop into the path of Saoirse. So as you said, maybe the 45, the lesser of the two evils to concede on this occasion.
So Maeve Delaney it is. The captain is going to take this 45, come up towards the 19-minute mark. Mayo with 1-9 on the board, Tyrone with a point. This will put their white flags into double digits. There's a hold up there for a moment. A Wicklow player receiving some attention, so it just gives us a break in play as well. But we'll confirm the identity of the player. I'm just trying to just double check who it is. We'll confirm in a moment exactly the player that is on the ground. I'm just wondering, is it the centre back Lisa Hogan? But the wind picking up there as well. Wicklow just need to try and settle this down, and look, they're going to find it very hard, Elaine, to come back from this deficit even now against Mayo 2, who have much more experience at the moment. But if they can hold it to this margin, maybe gain a point or two back, they'll have every reason to go in with all to play, or nothing to lose, I suppose, in the second half.
Absolutely. Look, if they can keep within striking distance of, I suppose, and look, it really is a damage limitation, I suppose, for the rest of the first half. Now, they've proven up front that if they can get the ball up there, they can cause Mayo some trouble up front, but I suppose getting the ball up there is the issue against that strong breeze. So look, if they can go in within striking distance, bide by their second half performance down in Wicklow in the league game, you know, they'll take great confidence from that, but they do need now to knuckle down at the back and try not to concede too much more before half time.
Lisa Hogan was the player that was on the ground, but thankfully she's okay, back on her feet. Maeve Delaney takes the 45 for Mayo, puts the ball over the bar. It's another score for the green and red Connacht side, and now as we look at the clock, 20 minutes gone, there she is, the captain, Maeve Delaney. Mayo 1-10, Wicklow a point.
Yeah, and the first score from a dead ball, you know, everything they've created up to this I think has been from play, so it just goes to show how well they're operating up front. And look, credit to Mayo, I suppose they're not conceding the frees, but they're conceding from play, which is equally as worrying.
Maeve Delaney, one of a few players in this Mayo team that won a Junior B All-Ireland with Bridoga back in 2019. She studied arts in NUIG, just 19 years of age. Played, of course, in the Ashburn Cup campaign this year, but the ball is out the field for Wicklow, and it's moving up towards the 45-metre line. Missed the opportunity there by Quiva Delaney, and Wicklow have possession now up towards the 45. But again, Mayo just know how to take the ball back and send it back down towards the attack as well, trying to get Emer Delaney involved on that occasion. And Wicklow just need to deal with this. Finola McLaughlin pulling the strings on the 40 there, has been well helped by Saoirse O'Brien, who gives the pass off for Saoirse Delaney. The two Saoirses working together. This is Saoirse Delaney, goes for another shot at the post, hasn't been missing much so far. A rare miss for her. It goes to the right and wide. Yeah,
but again for Wicklow, she just found herself in way too much space on that occasion. You know, they'd all drifted off across to the far side and back towards the goal to defend it, but Saoirse found herself in the space out here. A lovely little hand pass ball out from her, and I suppose they're just the opportunities that Wicklow can't be affording Saoirse Delaney inside.
Jenny Tyrrell sends the ball out again towards the 45-metre line. Two Wicklow players there. Ciara Kelly is the one wearing number 7. Shannon Goigelin there as well, fighting for the ball, as is Alice Mulhall. And all the action again just inside the 45-metre line. But Mayo just pushing down, and the referee says too many steps. The pressure applied by Mayo again paying off, and this could be another opportunity maybe for Maeve Delaney to go for a shot at the post and try and stretch Mayo's advantage.
Yeah, and it is Maeve Delaney, I think, is standing over the free over there again. Great work from their inside forwards. You know, we've been lauding them for their 1-9 from play, I suppose, up to this, but that was great pressure on them to put pressure on the Wicklow ball going out and to win the turnover. Now a chance to extend that lead.
Maeve Delaney takes the free. It's going to come in. Lisa Scahill has the ball, turns around, puts it over the bar, and it's Lisa Scahill who gets the score, gets another point from Mayo, 1-11 to 1 point.
Yeah, super take from Lisa Scahill there from the free, and you know, straight into the hand, turned, and there was power on that shot, and it was rising, it went over the bar, but you just feel that maybe if she needed it, she could have put that maybe a little bit lower and rattled that Wicklow net.
I mentioned already that Maeve and Saoirse Delaney were sisters. Ciara and Emer Delaney are also sisters, and also you have Grania and Quiva Delaney, another set of sisters, 3 sisters, and their grandfather, one of the founding members of Turin Hurling Club back in 1957, and the success the Turin Hurlers have had in recent years. 3 Connacht titles, have played in 2 All-Ireland semi-finals, and are definitely keeping hurling going strong in the county of Mayo. The ball goes out over the line right in front of you there, and it's going to be a Wicklow ball. Katie Tyrrell wearing number 13, but has spent most of her time in her own half of the field in this first half to try and stem the Mayo tide, and she will restart the action on her 20-metre line. Gets well underneath the ball, but the problem is there's nobody there to greet it bar Ava Lambert. And Ava Lambert in possession on her own 65-metre line, going to send it straight back down the field, down in the direction of Lisa Scal. Had the hand up, thinking she got a hurl in the process. An injury for the Mayo number 14. Wicklow focusing on the play. Aoife Connolly with the ball, but only gives it to Maeve Delaney. Maeve Delaney gives it to the sister Saoirse. Saoirse will turn on her right, gets blocked down on that occasion by Lisa Hogan. And the battle is inside the Wicklow 20-metre line and won by Jade Byrne, sending out towards the 45-metre line, but only as far as Shauna Golden. Shauna Golden doesn't hold on to the ball. Finola McLaughlin there as well, but Wicklow working hard. Rachel Lyons for Mayo with the ball, has a player to the right. That player is Emily Kelly, and Emily Kelly, wearing number 12, running onto the ball, loses out on that occasion to Alice Mulhall, and Alice Mulhall gets to Faye Corrigan in the middle of the field for Wicklow. Faye Corrigan tries to send the low one for Ciara Kelly, but Ciara Kelly doesn't win the race, and Mayo have possession again. Through their number 7 is Caoimhe Delaney. Caoimhe Delaney leaves it off for her teammate, and now a couple of passes later and Mayo are hovering her outside the 45-metre line through Saoirse Delaney. Saoirse Delaney takes on 2 Wicklow players equal to the task, gives it back to Caoimhe. Caoimhe Delaney down and towards the attack, but Lisa Scal had come out the field, and this will be a clearance for Jade Byrne. Back out towards the middle, a bit of tennis between the two teams at the moment. Ava Lambert going to send another long delivery down. Lisa Scal is there for this one if she can control the ball. Saoirse Delaney moving into the space, the pass to Saoirse. Saoirse will try and take on the defender, going for a shot at the post, and Saoirse Delaney puts the ball over the bar. A lot went on for the last 90 seconds or so, but Mayo get the point. Saoirse Delaney 112 to a point.
Yeah, and it was up and down the field there, as you said, but the problem was the pressure that Wicklow were putting on. Every time they made a clearance, it was only Ava Lambert there in that Mayo half back line to send it back with interest, and you just felt the more deliveries she could get into that full forward line, the more damage it was going to cause. And on that occasion it was Lisa Scahill and Saoirse Delaney that linked in, and Saoirse finishing off the point to make it 5 points for her in the first half.
Lisa Scal is receiving attention there at the moment. The Mayo number 14, a deadly attacker, one of the best in the game, and when she's on form, she's already scored a goal in this match. When she is on form, she can do damage. She scored 2 goals in their victory against Tyrone in the group stages. That was their last outing in the 19th of March. Mayo beating Tyrone 4-6 to 2 points. Of course, we mentioned they beat Wicklow 3-10 to 13 points the week before that, and they started off with a 114 to 2-4 win over Louth. And last year, when Mayo played Louth in competition, Lisa Scal scored 3 goals in the space of 7 minutes. That's how dangerous she is if she is given ball, and she's also shown her ability to pass it off to her teammates in a better position, as she did for Saoirse Delaney. Maeve Delaney going to take this free for Mayo. The ball goes over the bar. Now we have it 113 to a point in this game at the moment. 26 minutes gone. The scoreboard in Kinnegad has not caught up with us yet, so we'll confirm that at half time. But again, another free for Maeve Delaney.
Yeah, and I think the initial Saoirse Delaney shot, I think, was ruled as wide and overruled, but a call back for a free, and that's what let Maeve Delaney with that free. So I think the scoreboard probably is correct, but the point needs to go to Maeve Delaney rather than Saoirse.
Maeve Delaney getting the credit, and that fixes up that bit of confusion there as well. The score not given, even though one of the umpires had pointed for it. Either way, it's 112 to Mayo, 1 point to Wicklow. We'll correct our own scoreboard in a moment, and the battle is on the 45-metre line as Maeve Delaney gives the ball back to the cousin Caoimhe. Caoimhe Delaney sends it down towards the corner, hoping to find her cousin Saoirse, but that ball travels over the line to the right and wide. 4 minutes to go to half time here. Mayo 112, Wicklow a point. Wicklow just going running through their campaign so far in Division 4 of Littlewoods, Ireland's National Camogie League. They beat Louth 3-14 to 4 points the last day. Beforehand was that game against Mayo. They began with a 2-10 to 2-8 victory against Tyrone. A massive result for Wicklow, because not many people would have expected that, and they've earned the right to be here in this final on the Camogie Association YouTube channel, brought to you in association with Entray, and we're enjoying the competitive nature of the contest so far. Even if Mayo have the advantage on the scoreboard, Wicklow win a free there. Good work by Katie Tyrrell.
Yeah, good work by her. You know, she's doing a lot of work back, as we said, in her own half of the field, so you'd hope in the second half now that Wicklow will have the luxury of being able to push her up a little bit and trying to create a few chances on the scoreboard. Look, they're going to go in a good few points down at half time, I suppose, so it's about how they react to that in the second half. They will have the wind in their favour, so I suppose a good start for them in the second half will be crucial, because you feel that if Mayo do break the line on any occasion, that they have the forwards up front that can punish them, so any score that Wicklow get, they're going to need to make it count.
And we mentioned, of course, at the start, Wicklow 4 key names there as well, and sure, a goal goal or two at the start of the second half, and this game could suddenly become alive again on the scoreboard. But Wicklow working hard. This is a level up for themselves, playing the likes of Mayo, and they showed in the group match as well, Elaine, after the very poor start that they had, that they got back into the contest and indeed made a match of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's something that we spoke about in the dressing room at half time. You know, they knew obviously playing against the strong breeze in the first half that they were going to probably concede a good few scores and that it would be an uphill battle. Look, you'd be a little bit disappointed that maybe they didn't shut up shop a little bit more at the back given the early start that Mayo had got in the group game. But look, they'll have to regroup at half time, and as you said, they had a great second half comeback in Wicklow that day, so they'll be looking for the same and more in the second half here today.
Jessica Maxwell gives the ball to Laura Manley. Laura Manley trying to work away inside, but Mayo just defending in pack. She's managed to find a teammate there as Shanna Gotchelin had pushed up the field but just couldn't get control of the ball. And I think Maeve Delaney was the player that won the ball for Mayo, and a foul was committed in the process. Going to be a free out, but just as we were saying it, just like that, Mayo's defending was very, very good. That has to be acknowledged, but Wicklow nearly created something special. Yeah,
look, they've shown that they can, you know, there's been glimpses of it. I suppose they haven't really stuck, and the couple of chances that they have had up there, they've got a couple of wides, they got that point, and look, on that occasion I suppose just a little bit of inexperience and a little bit of impatience I suppose along the end line, that they didn't hang on to the ball a little bit longer and try and create something. But as you said, credit the Mayo defence really there. Any attack that Wicklow have mounted, they've been well able to handle it.
Mike Ryan, the linesman this side of the field, has told us we'll be 1 added minute in the first half. So as you can see there on your screen, 28 minutes and 59 seconds, 1 minute of normal time plus 1 minute of added time, 2 more minutes of camogie in this first half. Mayo in front by 112 to a point. Can Wicklow finish now with 1 or 2 scores to just give them a bit of confidence leading into the break? They've won the line ball here, and it's Jessica Maxwell that's going to come out and take this. She's covering both flanks in this game, just outside the 45-metre line, has Katie Tyrrell behind her, but again just trying to find free players. Send it down towards Laura Manley in attack, and Laura Manley wearing number 14. Good hook there by Aoife Doherty to stop the Wicklow number 14. Gives the pass back to Katie Tyrrell. Katie Tyrrell on the right goes for a shot that's not going to travel out. It might stay in play, and can Wicklow do something with this? Looks like it's Daisy Summer-Cullen Dunn who has the ball. She turns on the left hand side, goes for a shot at the post. That ball goes to the right and wide. Unlucky in the occasional lane, because it looked like Wicklow could get something there. Yeah, it did, and look, a great line ball I suppose into possession. Lovely 1-2. The ball across the square looked like it might have drifted wide, but held up there with the wind and, you know, created a chance for Wicklow. So look, it's a pity they didn't get one on the scoreboard there. It would have given them a little bit more confidence going into the dressing room at half time. But again, look, capable of creating the chances up there, just need to start converting them now. So the 30 minutes have been played. We're in that 1 additional minute in the first half as Wicklow look to try and double their account before the break. And the battle is happening between the Mayo 45 and 65 metre line. Wicklow will have that stiff breeze in the second half. They'll certainly be hoping that it holds. The referee, Louise Riley from Cavan, not happy with what she's seen. She's going to throw this ball in, and I'd say there's time for one more scoring opportunity for either side before the break. So Ciara Kelly for Wicklow is the number 7 there in the blue jersey and the yellow helmet on your left. The ball gets away from both players that went in for that throw-in ball, and who will gain possession out of this is both equally matching, equally battling for possession. Wicklow do have it, but only as far as a Mayo player, and Mayo now just trying to find the player in the better position. That's Ava Lambert, but the referee has blown the half-time whistle. At half-time, Mayo on control of the scoreboard. And Elaine, your overall thoughts on the opening 30 minutes? Yeah, look, they're in control on the scoreboard and probably have been in control for most of that first half, all over the field. You know, any attack that Wicklow did manage to mount up front, they found Ava Lambert there as a stonewall in that half back line. Look, her deliveries were crucial, getting key ball in to the full forward line, which, as we mentioned, is so capable of getting scores. You know, 4 of their 6 forwards on the scoreboard up front for Mayo. Maeve Delaney with a point from play of 45 and a point from a free from the middle of the field. So look, Mayo will be happy with that first half an hour's work. They'll know there's work to do. You know, they'll be aware of the comeback that they had to sustain against Wicklow in that group game as well. So look, from a Mayo point of view, I suppose, look, they'll be disappointed they didn't get something out of some of those half chances that they had coming near the end of the first half there. You know, a point to show for their half hour's effort. But look, there's a strong breeze out there, as you said. If they can get maybe an early goal and get a couple of long deliveries in with that wind behind them in the second half, and start to ask a few questions of that Mayo defence, and we'll see then maybe that they can claw themselves back into this game. But you just get the impression that if Mayo do get to counter-attack once or twice, that they have the forwards up front that certainly will be able to get a couple of scores just to keep them at a comfortable lead. Well, Mayo are 30 minutes away from a first ever National League title. They lead this game by 14 points at the break, but of course, as we mentioned, Wicklow have the breeze in the second half, so all to play for there, we say. Come back to us in about 10 minutes time. We'll have live coverage here from Coralstown Kinnegad GA Club of the second half of this Littlewoods Ireland's Camogie League Division 4 final. Mayo in control, but Wicklow, what's in them? We'll find out. The half-time score here in the Division 4 final. Mayo in front by 14. It's Mayo 112, Wicklow a point.
Invincible. Invincible.
Welcome back here to Coralstown Kinnegad GA Club, here for our coverage of Littlewoods Ireland's National Camogie League Division 4 final, Mayo against Wicklow. A great opening 31 minutes for Mayo. They have built up a 112 to 1 point advantage, but Wicklow there on your screen, chatting to their manager Sean Fleming. He'll be trying to instill that confidence, tell them you have the wins, you can get back into this game. A good opening 10 minutes could make this an interesting contest in Elaine. I think that's exactly what it is. The next 10 minutes, if this is going to be anyway doubtful about the results, Wicklow need to come out all guns blazing.
Yeah, Wicklow need to get into this game quick in the second half. Like you said, they're going to have the benefits of the elements behind them. So, straight from the throw-in, they're going to need to get on top. They probably struggled a little bit with their own puck-outs in the first half. So, look, if they get puck-outs in this half, they're going to have the win behind them. They need to make the distance on it, and they need to start asking questions of that Mayo half backline and full backline, who've just been too confident, I suppose, too comfortable on the ball in that first half. And then, similarly, when Mayo have a puck-out, Wicklow need to press up high there. There won't be huge distance against that breeze. So, Wicklow need to do, I suppose, what Mayo did in that first half and try and keep the ball up there, try and create the chances, try to win the freeze or whatever they can do up there. But look, you just get the impression still that if Mayo can counter-attack on any given occasion, that they have the forwards inside. Look, Saoirse Delaney has shown that she's on form inside. Fiona McLaughlin is covering the ground really, really well. So you'd expect if she drops back deep and picks up ball, she's going to carry against that wind and try and create the overlaps up front. So look, Wicklow need to get the good start. They need to start asking the questions quickly of that Mayo defence, start getting a couple of scores on the scoreboard and just starting to eke away into that Mayo lead.
We'll find out in a moment. Laura Manley, the score for Wicklow in the opening half. Mayo scores 1-3 for Lisa Scal, 4 points for Saoirse Delaney, 3 points for Maeve Delaney, and also Fiona McLaughlin and Saoirse O'Brien on target. We're getting ready for the start of the second half. The referee, of course, Louise Riley from County Cavan, just making sure that everything is okay to her liking. And it's Wicklow attacking the goal to the left with the wind here in Kinnegad. Supporters around us here in the commentary box. A good atmosphere here in the main stand, both getting behind their respective teams, and it's Mayo who win the ball through Maeve Delaney, and Maeve gives the pass out for Ava Lambert. Ava Lambert has received the pass on the occasion. My apologies, she's inside the 65-metre line. A long ball down. This is exactly what Wicklow didn't want at the start, because Lisa Scal might get this. Supporters from Emer Delaney outside of, but Wicklow get the bodies back very, very quick, try and regain control of the ball, but they have only brought it out towards the D and kicking it on the ground when need be for Shanna Goichlin. And anything we'll do at the moment to keep it away from the goal. Wicklow will be anxious, determined to get the first score of this second half, and Mayo now want to put this contest to bed and go for a national title. But it's Wicklow to win the ball out towards the 45-metre line from Shanna Goichlin, gets away from Fiona McLaughlin and sends it down the field. But what a wonderful technique there from Ava Lambert. Wins the ball. She's done well at centre back for Mayo, has had the space as well to do it too, it has to be said, but nonetheless Saoirse O'Brien just doesn't get control of the ball. Shanna Goichlin plays it along the ground, and it'll be Katie Tyrrell sending it between the two 65-metre lines. Jessica Maxwell on the move here for Wicklow. Is this the moment the referee says too many steps? And just when you want to break a lane, you don't get it.
Yeah, look, that's the kind of a day it's been for Wicklow. The one attack they got out of their own defence there, I suppose it was the hand of Ava Lambert that was waiting for it at the far side, and she's playing really, really well there for Mayo and really holding that half back line together. And as you said, the break there for Jessica Maxwell just been pulled back for steps, and I suppose a half chance for Wicklow gone a begging.
Wicklow won't give up. Faye Corrigan getting an important touch there for them, and Katie Tyrrell trying to fight for the ball, but it's Maeve Delaney who wins it. Out towards the cousin Emer Delaney. Emer Delaney, we're number 15, has gone out to that flank now, taking on Alison Mulhall, who's followed her. Sent it across to Saoirse, who's moved this side. She must like be near the camera, but Wicklow, they haven't cleared it yet. They haven't dealt with it, but Jade Byrne does have the ball, and she sends it out towards the 45-metre line, trying to find Lisa Hogan. Faye Corrigan comes to win the ball for Wicklow, gives the pass out in the direction of Ciara Kelly, but Mayo reading the passes, ready to pounce when need be. Emily Kelly doing enough to stop Wicklow's clearance on that occasion. The challenge is going in hard at the moment. It's back towards Caoimhe Delaney. Caoimhe Delaney trying to find Lisa Scala, goes out over the line. The linesman is saying it's a Wicklow ball. I thought it was a Wicklow ball myself, was the instinct, but Saoirse Delaney has the ball in her hand, and you can hear the Wicklow supporters calling for the ball. I thought myself now, Elaine, it was a Wicklow ball.
Yeah, I thought so as well. I thought the last play had been a Mayo player that had put it out over the line.
So the official just, I'd say this will end up being a throw-in ball, would you imagine it would be, because there is confusion about this. So nobody quite sure. There's a hold up in play anyway, because Lisa Hogan is down for Wicklow, just slightly off screen at the moment, so we'll have a chance to sort out exactly who's getting this line ball. I think Wicklow have won that, but Lisa Hogan down for the second time. A concern here for Wicklow. I can tell you a story about Lisa Hogan. She captained her club to an intermediate county title a couple of years ago, and had her speech written out beforehand, went to make the speech and thanked everybody and thanked the referee and thanking him for a good job. Of course, the referee was female on that occasion. She's not captain here today, but no doubt if Wicklow do turn this around, Katie Tyrrell will make sure to make that amendment. But Faye Corrigan is the player that has the ball for Wicklow, and it is a bit of concern here, Elaine, because Wicklow can't afford, but looks like they are going to have a substitution, and Lisa Hogan's game is done.
Yeah, the physio looks like she is calling for a sub. She's rolling the hand, so it looks like a head injury. So I suppose the physio maybe just being cautious enough that she wants to get full attention to Lisa Hogan. But in saying that, I think Wicklow have introduced a sub at half time as well. Is it Ciara Byrne is just in front of us here on camera as well, so she was introduced for Wicklow at half time. I don't see the player that's made way just yet, but Wicklow obviously ringing the change that time and now being forced to maybe to with another one with Lisa Hogan looking like, as you said, her day is done.
We'll confirm that substitution in a moment, but as Elaine mentioned, Ciara Byrne is on the field for Wicklow for the second half. And what impact will the player from Knockanana have in this game? The referee and linesman having a good conversation, so I'm not sure if anybody saw anything going on here. Just maybe uncertainty for us here at the moment. We're just trying to work out exactly what happened on this situation as well. It looked like an elbow had possibly gone up, and there has been, we think there could have been an elbow maybe that was involved in that time of the challenge going on. So not sure exactly what decision will be made if it was seen by the referee, but what we can tell you is that Wicklow are going to be down a player, and we're still not 100% sure. It is going to be a free out for Wicklow now, so the line has gone to the free out lane. But I suppose the question asking is anybody from Mayo going to be in trouble here?
Well, look, if we're gone for a free out rather than the line ball, the referee and lines person have obviously consulted and have deemed that something happened there to merit the free, and if there was something in it that merited the free, maybe there's action then that needs to be taken against a Mayo player. The ref and linesman did consult there, and there is, as we said, obviously concern for Lisa Hogan, and it did look like she did take an elbow to the head. So, you know, as I said, if the lines person and the referee have deemed that it's a free and they've seen something in the free there, then there needs to be action against the Mayo player, you'd imagine.
We'll find out exactly what's going on at the moment, but unfortunately for Lisa Hogan, her game is over. We'll tell you about the substitute coming on for her in a moment, but a massive blow. Now it is a free out for Wicklow, and I can only deem that the officials cannot identify the player responsible for the free, even though they have given the free. Either way, it is a free for Wicklow. It's going to be taken by Jade Byrne outside their 45-metre line, and what can she do to get this going? Sent the low ball down, but only as far as Emily Kelly trying to hold on to the ball. Casey Kelly there, the two Kellys battling each other, but it's Maeve Delaney that gets involved and sends it up the field, missing the occasion by Ciara Kelly, and now it's Saoirse Delaney. Delaney's against Kelly's here in Kennygad. Low ball down towards, I think number 26 is the player Sarah Burns. So the two Burns on for Wicklow, but it's Lisa Scala with the ball down in the direction of Saoirse Delaney. Saoirse Delaney trying to turn inside, just gets blocked by the defendant of Shannon Goichlin. Back for Emily Kelly, who takes the shot, and it's just a scramble there at the moment. Nobody can get a clean hold on the ball. Emily Kelly down towards the 20-metre line, but it's won by Shanna Goichelin for Wicklow, and she brings it past the 45-metre line right in front of Jessica Maxwell. But Jessica Maxwell has two players to go up against, and Ava Lambert is the one that's come out to meet the ball. Ava Lambert, high challenge there, which maybe the Mayo player just lost her balance. Play continues on. Rachel Lyons will move it inside the 45-metre line down for Emer Delaney, and Emer Delaney just trying to fight for the ball there, and Mayo getting their bodies in the way. Again, good work from Finola McLaughlin there, doing enough to hold it up and give it to a better player, which is Rachel Lyons. Rachel Lyons with the pass inside for Saoirse O'Brien. Saoirse O'Brien just lost control of the ball, a bit sloppy from both teams at the moment, it has to be said. Katie Tyrrell for Wicklow with possession, clears the ball out the field, but again it's going to be Ava Lambert winning the ball like a quarterback, playing for Mayo, sends it down for Emily Kelly. Emily Kelly trying to find somebody, and Wicklow is getting little touches as well, Elaine. Nobody taking control here.
No, absolutely, the ball bobbling around there, and look, Wicklow are having to work so hard to cut down those opportunities, and then when they do make the clearances, it's only straight into the waiting hand of Ava Lambert, and it's back to square one again. But look, from a Mayo point of view, I suppose this is all time that's eaten into the clock, and they're still ahead, so they'll be happy enough to play the game down as much as they can in this end of the field.
We've played 7.5 minutes, nearly 8 of the second half. No score this period so far. Mayo 112, Wicklow a point. That was the half-time score, but Saoirse Delaney has won a Mayo free. The sister Maeve is going to take this, and if she puts this over the bar, this will be our first score of the second period for Mayo against the wind, but doing enough. It's going to drop short in towards the house. Wicklow needs to be careful. Jade Byrne did well to give it out to Maura Deegan, and it's out now towards the 45-metre line, but it's going to come back in again quick enough unless Jessica Maxwell can get ahead of Shauna Golden on this occasion, who's pushed up the field. And Shauna Golden, wearing number 5, but playing the inside line. Did she get a trip? I think she did. Mayo are going to get another free and another opportunity for Maeve Delaney to put this over the bar.
Yeah, and this one probably just a couple of metres in again further, so if she's used the first one, I suppose, to gauge the distance, she should maybe put a little bit of height on this one and try and get it over the bar. But look, you'd have to credit Jade Byrne at full back for Wicklow there. You know, she's had a busy afternoon back there, and she's come out time and time again, and I suppose it's never a great sign for a team when your full back is probably your player of the match, when she's having the most influence on the game. But look, she's having a tough afternoon back there, but she's standing up to everything that Mayo have thrown at them in that full forward line.
Shauna Golden just on the ground at the moment, receiving some attention, a dual player at club level. She plays her football with Kilmovie Shamrocks as well, a prominent player with that team. Of course, her club in Camogie is Nabridoga, another All-Ireland winner in 2019, and we'll just keep an eye to see if she's okay. Of course, the championship, it might be May before it's all kicking off, but nobody wants to be picking up any major injuries because there won't be that much time to deal with it before we get up and running. Mayo, as I mentioned earlier on, playing in the All-Ireland Premier Junior Championship this year, and they'll be up against Tipperary, Clare, Waterford and Cavan. And of course Cavan are here in Kennygad, the second our second live game, brought to you in association with Entry. So don't go anywhere after this game, because at 3 o'clock we have the Littlewoods Ireland Division 3 Camogie League final live. Wexford on their unbeaten streak at 11 games at the moment, up against Cavan, who've rediscovered their mojo this year. An opportunity for Mayo for a goal. It's in the net. It's in the net, and that kind of came out of nowhere, but we'll tell you about it. Maeve Delaney with the free. Emily Kelly had a touch across. I think it was Lisa Scahill that put it to the back of the net for her second goal. We have the second goal. It was Lisa Scahill. Mayo 2-12, Wicklow a point, and here's the replay.
Yeah, and what great work there from Emily Kelly, was it, that kept that ball in play. Really, really clever corner forward play, and what you tell them to do time and time again, keep the ball in play. And when it did, it hopped lovely in front of Lisa Scahill, and no better woman to finish the net, and she finishes with her second goal.
2-12 to Mayo, point to Wicklow. Lisa Scal's 5th goal of this year's National League. Sarah Byrne with the ball for Wicklow, but gives it away to Caoimhe Delaney, and Caoimhe Delaney has given it back to Casey Kelly in a high challenge on the Wicklow number 4, so advantage will be given if they don't do much of this. Well, the hand has gone down for the advantage, but Laura Manley might need it. Laura Manley trying to give it a space for a shot for Wicklow, gets her second score of the game, puts the ball over the bar, and it's Laura Manley again, 2 points to 2-12.
Yeah, look, and we said again, like, Wicklow have been economical enough with what ball they've gotten into that full forward line, but I suppose the struggle really has been to get the supply in there, and Laura Manley does look like she's capable of getting a couple of scores in there. That's 2 points to Wicklow and 2 points to her, but I suppose the problem being that they just can't get enough supply in.
We just saw the goal there again. Mayo's second goal finished off by Lisa Scahill. This is up Eva Delaney, the number 7, but Faye Corrigan, a great young player for Wicklow, and a great future ahead of her, lays the pass over Katie Tyrrell. Katie Tyrrell hits it over the head, hoping that it'll work its way towards Jessica Maxwell, but Finola McLaughlin not making it easy for her. She wears the number 10 for Mayo, and it's now Maeve Delaney moving it up the field, the far side of the field, going up against Eva Conley, but she did enough to send it down towards the sister Saoirse Delaney, back to now be marked by Alison Mulhall. The ball goes out over the line off the Mayo player. It's going to be a Wicklow ball, and we have played nearly 12 minutes of the second half here of this Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 4 final. Mayo in control on the scoreboard, 2-12 to 2 points. This is the point again from Laura Manley, putting it over the bar. She thought she might get a bit more space there, Elaine, to try and do something better with that, but it was good marking as well from Amy Mulkeen. She didn't make it easy.
No, certainly not, and as you said, Laura Manny looked to go around her a couple of times, looked to try and get inside to maybe create something more inside, but super defending again, just pushed her out far enough for long enough just to get the shot for the point away. And look, Mayo will be happy enough to have just conceded the point and look, try and build their own attacks from there again.
Casey Kelly has pushed up the field in this match, and she's definitely causing problems. This is the second free that she has won. I think a substitution is taking place for Wicklow. Eleanor Carol Hayes, who didn't start the match, she wears number 11. She is coming on for Jessica Maxwell. So of course Wicklow have had a couple of changes, one enforced. They have this free now for Laura Manley, and could this be the first time in the game that Wicklow get 2 scores back to back? Still a lot of work to do if they're going to save this final, but they want to get the scores when they come. Laura Manley puts the free over the bar 13 minutes into the second half, 3 points to 2-12.
Yeah, super score from her again, right on the 45, and used the wind to all its extents to get it over the bar. And look, Mayo or Wicklow now really need to start trying to win a couple of these pockets, I suppose, and they've shown that Laura Manley inside can be dangerous and threatening inside in that full forward line if they can just get enough ball in there. As you said, Casey Kelly has pushed up and she's having an influence, and around the middle of the field has won the last 2 frees there, and is just, I suppose, taking the game to Mayo.
Yeah, Casey Kelly just watching off screen there as Mayo are making a substitution. We'll confirm that change in a moment, but I do believe that it's Helen O'Malley coming on for Emer Delaney. But I was watching Casey Kelly off screen, and she's just staying with Saoirse O'Brien at the moment, and Saoirse O'Brien just hovering around the middle where number 11, and Casey Kelly has picked her up now for this period of the game at the very least. The goalkeeper for Mayo is Avian Crowley. We haven't mentioned her name much in this game. Sends a long drive down in the direction of Emily Kelly, and right in front of us there you can see players battling for the balls, and it's Ava Lambert again moving it up the field, but Casey Kelly getting in the way. She's already launched 2 Wicklow attacks and was hoping on that occasion that Daisy Summer-Cullen Dunn could keep that in play. Not to be. Looked at a bit of distress. It goes out over the line. It's going to be a Mayo ball as we approach the final quarter of this game, and this line ball is going to be taken by Ava Lambert. No players over the age of 24 on this Mayo team. A great promise going forward if they keep putting the work in that they have been doing, and they've been shown since they played their opening game of last year's league against Roscommon. A game they were leading at half time, but experience got the better of them on that particular day, but they've learned since. Wicklow in possession. Katie Tyrrell goes for a shot and sends it inside. It's an opportunity. A goal! It's a goal for Sophie Birmingham. Puts the ball into the back of the net. Wicklow have their goal. Sophie's third of the campaign, and they've been building the last couple of minutes.
Absolutely, and a great finish when it did come, and I suppose it just goes to show when they can get Katie Tyrrell up the field. You know, she's played most of this match inside her own full back line, half back line, trying to defend back there. Got up on that occasion, got in on some of the good work done, put a lovely tantalising ball in right in front of Sophie Birmingham, pulled on it fantastically and finished to the net. And you know, it's probably a little bit late maybe for a full Wicklow comeback, but it'll certainly give them a bit of energy to finish out the last 15 minutes.
It's 1-2 unanswered, it has to be said. Wicklow 1-3, Mayo 2-12. Admittedly, yes, it'll be hard to see anybody but Mayo winning this match, but with 15 minutes remaining of camogie, anything is possible, and Wicklow now have started getting into the game a little bit more. Maybe have Mayo dropped the gears there. Do they think the job is done? We will see, but either way, Wicklow are starting to win breaks around the middle of the field. The problem you have though is you can't spend too much time dealing with the ball, because Mayo are going to be in like a shot, and just like that, one touch on the ground, Mayo have the ball. They have a free advantage at the moment. The advantage is gone, but the ball is up towards towards the 45-metre line through Emily Kelly. Emily Kelly tried to lay it over Saoirse O'Brien, but Lisa Scal comes out to take it. Lisa Scal, good block down there for Wicklow. Stopping Lisa Scal, pulling the trigger to try and get another point. Shannon Gochelin was the player with the block, but it's Rachel Lyons in possession for Mayo. Gives the pass back. The pass forward towards Helen O'Malley. Helen O'Malley took the pass from Maeve Delaney. She's down in the corner and she's well capable of doing causing trouble as well. Helen O'Malley coming inside, sends it in, trying to find Saoirse O'Brien, and Saoirse O'Brien still has possession for Mayo. Turns for a shot. It goes out for a 45. Probably should have taken the point. Nearly got the goal. Either way, forces the save from Jenny Tyrrell.
Yeah, look, and that'll be a let off, I suppose, for Mayo. They got the ball up again, and time and time again, you know, when they get it into that full forward line. It was the sub Helen O'Malley on that occasion, in along the end line. Lovely ball across, probably just a little bit high for Saoirse O'Brien to get a hand on it, but did really well to win it on the second occasion, and her shot then just forcing the save from Jenny Tyrrell in the Wicklow goal.
Helen O'Malley was the Mayo captain. When they won the Nancy Murray Cup last year, she scored a goal in their 3-8 to 112 final against Tyrone. The referee is having a chat with Katie Tyrrell, the Wicklow captain, off screen, and she's given a yellow card, so I'm not too sure if that's to deal with something that happened off the ball or something she wanted to come back and deal with in a break in play. Either way, there's a yellow card for the Wicklow captain. Mayo have a free outside the 45-metre line, and I didn't think I'd say this today, but a chance to arrest the slide there after conceding 1-2 so fast.
Yeah, look, it has been all Wicklow for the last couple of minutes, but like we said, Mayo have shown how good they are when they do get that ball up front, and Maeve Delaney now with this free, as you said, just stops the rot for Mayo and gets a score to just stretch their lead again and just keep Wicklow at arm's length.
Of course, I have to correct myself as well. That was the 45 after the original shot from Saoirse O'Brien. It goes over from Maeve Delaney. 2-13 to 1-3. 4 points in this game for the Mayo captain, who'll be favoured to lift the trophy at the end of the match. What can Wicklow do? Can they create some doubt before the closing stages as Ciara Byrne, number 25, tries to get a touch, but Rachel Lyons along the ground leaves it for Maeve Delaney, her midfield partner, and Maeve Delaney sends it down inside the 45-metre line, hoping Saoirse O'Brien can get a run onto this, but not to be on that occasion, as Alice Mulhall just gets in the way for Wicklow and does enough to move it out towards Sarah Byrne. Sarah Byrne on the 45-metre line, moving it forward again. That's what Wicklow want to do, move the ball that bit in faster, and things might happen. Katie Tyrrell is back to help out as well, but Mayo there getting the players in the way. Maeve Delaney, the captain, in the middle of all that. Ava Lambert is there as well, and Ava Lambert wins the free too. She's certainly going to be in contention at the end of the game, and plenty of options for Mayo in regards who will be player of the match. We won't be coming to that just yet. We will come to that in the not too long, but we'll watch this free now by Maeve Delaney, the Mayo captain, inside the 65-metre line, looking at the post against the wind, but she's well able to hit the ball, and this might travel, this might be close, it might find somebody, it might find Saoirse Delaney or Lisa Scal, who's on a hat-trick. Let's not forget she scored the 2 goals in this game. Saoirse O'Brien, will she get a shot in? Shannon Gochelin with the block again, but the dangerous knock on. Saoirse has another go, and Saoirse O'Brien puts the ball over the bar. Mayo get a point, 11 minutes to go, 2-14 to 1-3.
Yeah, and a great point it was too, you know, from a really difficult angle, but a super free in initially from Maeve Delaney, I suppose, from distance into the wind, and Saoirse Delaney unlucky not to get a flick onto it, but when it did break inside, it was Mayo that were quickest to the break, and it was Saoirse O'Brien with her second point.
Laura Hogan is coming on the field to play for Wicklow, and she is replacing Daisy Summer-Cullen Dunn. Of course, Laura, the Knocknanana captain, when they won the All-Ireland a few weeks back as well. A big player to come on for them. I think there might be more changes for Wicklow, because I see Ciara Kelly is going off the field to play as well, and we'll confirm who's coming on. Indeed, it's Moya Kremen, the player coming on for Wicklow as well. So plenty of changes from Wicklow, and I suppose the one thing, Elena, has to be said for Sean Fleming, he's right too as well. Let's use the bench as well. So many players here, they're going to want to experience leading into the Nancy Murray Cup. Yeah,
absolutely. And look, credit to the players that have come on, have really stepped up, and they seem to have made a bit of a difference as well. So, you know, it's a good, you know, they're building a panel obviously, and some of these players, to get them the experience here, to get them up to match pace, as you said, before they hit championship.
Yeah, there's another mix with the scoreboard here in Kenny-Gab, but we have a 2-14 to 1-3 favouring Mayo at the moment. We get all that double checked in a few minutes. Either way, play continues on and out towards the 65-metre line. Sorry, Shannon Gochelin, the player in possession, getting away from Emily Kelly. Shannon has a look up there and sent it down, trying to find Katie Tyrrell, not to be, and it's Ava Lambert again who wins the ball for Mayo. Down towards the ball. Saoirse Delaney got ahead of the ball. She thought it was coming in front of her. Indeed, we all thought it was coming coming in front of her, but Alison Mulhall was keeping an eye in the sky, and she managed to be first to the ball. But the battle for possession is on the 45-metre line, and Wicklow win possession again, and they're going to move it between the two 65-metre lines. Sarah Byrne there, the number 26, trying to win it, but it's won back by Fionnuala McLaughlin, and she gives it to Ava Lambert, and Ava Lambert has Emily Kelly in front of her, gives it to Emily Kelly. Emily Kelly, the number 12, this is good from Mayo. Saoirse O'Brien, shot at the post, should be a score. It goes to the right and wide. Everything was right with the Helene bar, the final product.
Yeah, look, the finish just didn't quite match the build-up, but it was a great play again from Ava Lambert at the back, and the little give and go, but didn't get it back on that occasion. The shot came off for Saoirse O'Brien, but just drifted to the right and wide. But look, from a Mayo point of view, I suppose it's all, as I said, eaten into time on the clock, and they'll be happy enough with just to keep the ball at that end of the field.
Eva Connolly with possession for Wicklow, gets inside the 65-metre line, but Mayo just getting the little touches. Saoirse O'Brien has had a good game overall. She's having a very, very good second half. Looking for Lisa Scal, just carries over her, and Alison Mulhall will win this for Wicklow. Looks up, sees who's in front, what's Shannon Goichlin, and Shannon leaves it off for Eva Connolly. The two of them working together, the 19 and the 10, and Laura Manley comes out to get involved in the action. This is good from Wicklow now inside the 65-metre line. Shannon Goichlin, long driving ball down towards the full forward line. Mayo's defenders will try and deal with this, but Wicklow are growing confident to push bodies up, try and put pressure on Mayo, but it's won by Amy Mulkeen. The referee has blown the whistle. Don't know if she's indicated a foul, but certainly which colours the one's attention for Wicklow players on the ground.
Yeah, I think Sophie Birmingham just maybe clash of bodies with Laura Manley when they went for that last ball, went down and just holding her head. So I suppose the ref doing the correct thing and holding it up for a chance to get some help and some aid into Sophie Birmingham there just to assess that. But as I said, Mayo had done really, really well again, broken that down, and Amy Mulkeen had that ball in her hand coming out.
So a substitution taking place for Mayo there. Aoife Doherty has gone off the field of play, and I can tell you that number 17, Roisin Cassidy, is on for Mayo. But we'll talk about the Wicklow player that's on the ground in a moment, and a kind of a chance while everybody's taking a break. Nobody's thrown water on the field of play, which I thought these impromptu water breaks were still around, even if the official ones were gone.
It's probably still a little bit cold for the water here today, so maybe happy enough to have taken on board what they did at half time. But there's a bottle of water right out there for the Mayo players at the moment. But yeah, look, they're in a really comfortable position, I suppose, and look, while Sophie Birmingham is getting attention there, it is a chance, I suppose, for Mayo just to regroup again. And look, Wicklow, you probably have to be impressed by the substitutes that they've brought on. They've probably brought a bit of new lease of life, maybe a bit of impetus to the game. And look, Sean Fleming, I suppose, maybe looking to the championship coming further down the line and seeing what team he can get on the field for the championship. You feel that, look, they've made huge strides this year, but I suppose Mayo were just always in control today, and really from the start you probably needed Wicklow maybe to get the start that Mayo had got to try and upset the odds here, and certainly having to play into the elements in the first half didn't do their cause any good. And Mayo are a team that have shown that they will punish you, and look, they've put up 215, which is a massive score, and a spread of scorers all over the field, which is also really impressive for them. Looking forward to championship further down the line.
Yeah, we have as officially at the moment 214 to 1-3 to Mayo, though an extra score has gone up, and there was confusion in the first half there as well. But either way, as a vision gap between the teams. Now, it's very hard to compare Nancy Murray Cup teams at the moment because we don't fully know who Wicklow will be up against. We can guess Tyrone, Louth, possibly Donegal will be in that competition. Just looking at Mayo's group here as we wait for play to restart. Tipperary, Clare, Waterford, Cavan and Mayo. I don't want to be putting too much pressure or getting carried away with the work Mayo have done here as well. But outside of Cavan, and probably the favourites among those teams, because Tipperary, Clare, Waterford are all second teams, and the Clare second team are normally strong enough as well. They might fancy their chances of trying to do something in this championship.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they will. As I said, it's hard to judge sometimes with second teams and see what they will bring to the championship. But certainly Mayo bite on by their victory here today. They know nothing but good days in Mayo Camogie at the moment. So this will be another good victory for them and give them great confidence going into that championship. As you said, Cavan will rightly be favourites for it. They're playing a division above, and they're in the Division 3 final here later against Wexford. So obviously playing at that level and that experience will stand to them going into the championship. But you'd imagine Mayo, as I said, buoyed by the victory here today. And look, they're such a young team that they're learning at every opportunity, and they'll take great learnings from this campaign and I suppose from their victory here today, and they'll look to build on that then into the championship. And as you said, they certainly wouldn't be a team that I'd be writing off for the championship.
The blow here for Wicklow, as you can see on screen, it's Sophie Birmingham, their goal scorer, that's going off with an injury, and she's been replaced by Shauna O'Shea. And I want to tell you something about Shauna O'Shea. 1 weekend at the end of February, she played 3 big matches, 1 for her school, 2 for her county at minor and adult level, the 25th, 26th and 27th of February. a player that's another great talent coming through in Wicklow. Part of the Coláiste Breed Carnew team that won the All-Ireland Schools B camogie title this year. 6 of that starting team are from Wicklow. There's a few Wexford players in that team that you will see coming up at 3 o'clock if you stick with us here on the Camogie Association YouTube channel for the game between Wexford and Cavan in the Division 3 final. The free here is going to be taken by Katie Tyrrell, and Katie Tyrrell getting ready to launch a Wicklow attack just inside the 65-metre line. Inside the final 5 minutes, we're going to have a few added minutes on top of that. And again, as the whole of the free is going to get taken now. Just a lot stopping at the moment and hard to keep the flow going, but we get back with the action and it's batted down, a chance every Wicklow shot, and it's got scrambled across the goal. I can tell you that Laura Hogan took the low shot there. I'm not quite sure the defender that cleared it. It might have been Shauna Golden, but either way, Wicklow with a low chance for a goal. We might see that again in a moment. We'll watch the action on the 45-metre line just for a second to see what Wicklow can do on that. Can they create something else? Is it's Katie Tyrrell sending it inside, and Mayo defending. Rachel Lyons in the middle of that there outside the 45-metre line. Wicklow wants to get another goal in this game. It'll be consolation, no doubt, at this stage now, but a goal scoring opportunity there, and we will show you back to you in a moment. We're just kind of don't want to miss anything here live with the action. While the referee blows the whistle, we might get an opportunity just to see that goal scoring opportunity again if it is, and here it is again. Katie Tyrrell with the free inside and batted out by Aoibhinn Crowley, the goalkeeper. You can see the snapshot there crossing the defender, clearing it away from Mayo, and it would have been just reward for Wicklow for the much improved effort in the second half here to try and put some more respectability on the scoreboard. They trail by 14 points in this game, 2-14 to 1-3 the score, though I can tell you the scoreboard here in Kinnegad has given Mayo an extra point. We haven't quite worked out where it's come from, but that's the effort from Laura Manley. It goes to the left and wide, but great opportunity there for Wicklow, Lynn.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a super ball in from Katie Tyrrell. Initially the free was struck in and it looked like it was dropping at that really dangerous height for camogie goalkeepers, and in fairness to Aoibhinn Crowley in the goal, did well to bat it down, but it was Laura Hogan there, and it was ping ball on the line for a couple of minutes I suppose there to try and get it out. And you know, Wicklow got the numbers in, but credit Mayo, they got the numbers back to defend again, and look, a little bit of stalemate I suppose as the game just pitches out to its finish.
Katie Tyrrell with a chance there for a shot fake. Horgan give her the pass, and Katie Tyrrell puts the ball over the bar. Just over 2 minutes of normal time remaining. It's 1-4 to 2-14.
Yeah, and Katie Tyrrell shown what she's capable of there in the last couple of minutes since she's gone up more into the forwards. You know, she's pushed up on Ava Lambert, spent, as we said, most of her first half back in her own defence, just trying to stem the tide, the Mayo tide that was against them. But look, I suppose she's a player that Wicklow really needed to keep up front as much as they could today, and to try and trouble the scoreboard. She's probably been there a good play creator up front along with Laura Manley.
So another change there for Wicklow. Hannah Doyle, their number 27, has come on the field to play. Loads of substitutions from both teams now. We're watching the action here on the field of play as Laura Hogan tries to create something else, and Aoibhinn Crowley's have the ball out there. It's opportunity. Eleanor Carol Hayes was coming in and just probably wasn't expecting it, I'd say, is the fair thing to say there. But Mayo, whether the concentration is gone at the moment, or Wicklow are just really up in the tempo here in the closing stages. Another goal scoring opportunity for Wicklow there as well, and this is Laura Manley, and Laura Manley gives the pass back to Katie Tyrrell. Katie Tyrrell's effort gets blocked down, but as it comes out towards the field. But Elaine, what an opportunity there for Wicklow, and I suppose in fairness to them, they probably just weren't expecting it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Look, I think the ball was probably drifting off to the left and wide initially from the initial shot, but Aoibhinn Crowley went with the hand for it, didn't claim it the first time, and it hopped down into the path of Eleanor Carol Hayes, and I suppose just went for it with the foot rather than with the hurl. And as you said, maybe wasn't expecting, but credit to her, she followed it the whole way in and just couldn't get the connection. But there again, look, Mayo got the numbers back really, really quick. But look, Wicklow certainly fighting this out to the bitter end, and not going to let this one go without a fight.
And it's great to see as well for Wicklow going forward. Of course, you can see the clock there, 30 seconds of normal time remaining, but we'll have a few added minutes. We've had 2 players go off with major injuries as well, and a couple of other stoppages, so I can imagine we have 4 or 5 minutes left in this game as that effort for Wicklow goes out over the line and wide, and it remains, well, we have it Mayo 2-14, Wicklow 1-4. There is a scoreboard dispute here. We'll try and see if somebody can confirm this for us in some shape or form, but either way, there's a significant gap between the teams, and Mayo restart the action, and it's out in the direction of Brona Joyce, number 22 for Mayo, but as Wicklow have it back again, Casey Kelly on the attack. Casey sending it across, plenty of options there. This is Katie Tyrrell, Ava Lambert got in the way there. Katie might try and pull the trigger again. More players getting involved, but Ava Lambert with the ball, bringing it out the field, out towards the number 23 for Mayo, who is Niamh Kennedy, who I believe replaced Finola McLaughlin, who was wearing number 10 in this game. Mayo able to afford to make changes like that now, and we're back towards the Wicklow 45-metre line as Shanna Gutchlin sends it again down towards the opposing 45-metre line. Brona Joyce will come out to meet this for Mayo, but is under pressure again, under pressure from Ciara Byrne. She wears 25. You can see Nicole Kern, the number 16 for Wicklow, in the middle of all this as well, and the ball seems to be going dead there, and Elaine, it just gives us an opportunity maybe to be thinking about the player of the match. We'll get to that in just a moment as the ball is thrown in here and the clock continues to tick away. Mayo on their way to be crowned Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 4 champions of 2022. Well, Wicklow will look back on their league campaign this year in a very positive light, and certainly camogie is rapidly improving in the Garden County. We're going to have another sideline cut here now, and Shanna Gutchlin going to leave it off for Katie Tyrrell. We'll keep an eye on the play lane, but overall the players that have impressed you and your overall player of the match.
Yeah, look, I suppose from a Wicklow point of view, it was a stark enough lesson here today, and their best players were probably in defence. You know, I thought Jade Byrne was outstanding at fullback, didn't have an easy day, and look, as I said before, it's never a good sign when it's your fullback is the player that's most on the ball. Look, Katie Tyrrell fought hard throughout, and Laura Manny looked dangerous when they could get the ball up front to her. From a Mayo point of view, I suppose, look, they started with such aplomb, and that full forward line of Saoirse Delaney, Lisa Scahill, they were on fire inside, and that's where the vast majority of scores from around the middle of the field. I thought Maeve Delaney was really, really controlled, and just when the need was greatest stood up and, you know, scored her 245s a free and got a point from play as well. But just I think from a defensive point of view, and when the need was the greatest, I think it was Ava Lambert at number 6 fullback or centre back, who just stormed forward and look, got in the block there on that last occasion, pushed Mayo up the field again, and time again it was her hand, I suppose, that stopped any kind of a Wicklow attack and stopped them building anything up front. So for me today, number 6 for Mayo, Ava Lambert, was player of the match.
Congratulations to Ava Lambert, she is the player of the match, and we'll hopefully speak to her after this game. Wicklow trying to finish this game with something to reward themselves for their effort in the second half, which has definitely been much improved as well. You can see the clock there, nearly 3 minutes of added time have been played. Mayo 2:14, Wicklow 1:4, and Casey Kelly, what a difference she has had since being pushed up the field. I have a funny feeling Sean Fleming will be looking at her in a possible midfield position or an attacking role later in the summer. Brona Joyce wins the ball for Mayo and just trying to clear it out. The two number 22s, well, I thought the two number 22s were there, but it's Laura Hogan, the 22 for Wicklow, with the ball there, and again it's just inside the 13-metre line, and we're playing out the conclusion of the game, won by Emily Kelly. She takes the ball, sends it up towards the line, towards Saoirse O'Brien, who's come back in defence, being put under pressure by Sarah Byrne. Sarah Byrne did enough to leave her for Casey Kelly. Casey Kelly to number 4, but the attacking number 4 gives the pass off. The pass to Nicole Kern, and this is good from Wicklow, but again they're just trying to finish it off, and Saoirse O'Brien back again, fighting for the ball. Shanna Gutchlin pushed up the field as well, and Wicklow players are queuing up to see can they get a second goal before this game finishes. Out the far side of the field, and again plenty of blue and yellow jerseys moving forward. This is Laura Manley with the shot, puts the ball over the bar. Wicklow get another score, and that brings their tally to 1-5.
Yeah, look, and if there's any positives to be taken from today's game from Wicklow, you know, I suppose it's the way that they fought to the end there, and certainly the substitutes that they brought on have really brought a new lease of life to them up front there, and look, they've really started to capitalise on Mayo's puck outs into that breeze, but I suppose it was a little bit too little too late, and you'd have to question whether Mayo, as you said, knew that it was job done, and maybe they've just taken their eye off the ball a little bit.
2:14 to Mayo, 1-5 to Wicklow as Mayo cleared the ball out the field again. 4.5 minutes gone in added time, and Wicklow are finishing the stronger. This is Shanna Gutchlin. Shanna Gutchlin storms forward, goes for a shot at the post and puts the ball over the bar, deserving for herself in the effort she's put in this game. Another score for Wicklow. Certainly if I do the stats in the second half, I'd say Wicklow probably in front.
Yeah, certainly. Look, and as I said again, a player who has spent most of their game back, you know, may have 10 on her back, but has spent most of the game back in her own defence, and when she did get forward on that occasion, like Katie Tyrrell, she was well able to take a score, and you just wonder, you know, that if the roles had been reversed in the first half, and if it had been Wicklow who had played with the aid of that breeze, that maybe they could have got a couple of scores on the scoreboard. But look, that's for another day's debate, and I suppose it's something that Sean Fleming and his management team will look at going into the championship, and it's something that they, you know, they'll finish here say, alright, they won't have won the game, but they'll certainly have been buoyed by their second half performance.
Wicklow lead the second half 1-5 to 1-2 by my watch, but the scorekeeper in Kennygan has given Mayo an extra score, so we'll find out that at the end of the game. But this is Katie Tyrrell, and Katie Tyrrell between the 45 and the 65 metre lines now in the 6th minute of added time, going for an effort at the post is Katie Tyrrell. That ball will go to the right and wide, always going to be very, very difficult, and we're just all eyes now on the referee Louise Riley from Cavan. How much more time is going to be played in this second half of the Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 4 final. So Aveen Crowley, the goalkeeper for Mayo, sending it out the field. Don't forget, don't go anywhere after this. We will have the presentation to the winning Mayo side. Hopefully we'll have some reaction as well. And if you want to stick around for the 3 o'clock live coverage here on the Camogie Association YouTube channel, brought to you in association with Entray, Wexford against Cavan and Littlewoods Ireland Division 3 Camogie League final. Again, the ball scrambles out over the line, the far side of the field. It looks like it's going to be a Mayo ball. Shauna Golden will be the player that restarts the action. We have played the 6 minutes now of at a time, and it was just play out to the inevitable final whistle, Elaine.
Yeah, and that's I think what it is, and look, as I said, Wicklow will have been buoyed by their performance there in the last 15 minutes. Certainly in the second half, as you said, they've outscored Mayo for that half, but look, the Mayo defence have been outstanding as well. We probably haven't seen as much of their full forward line that we saw so much of in that first half, but certainly their backs, like time and time again, they got the numbers back there, and look, playing into that breeze, it's hard to make the breaks up the field, I suppose, and credit to Wicklow, they certainly upped the intensity and upped the work rate in their forwards in the second half, and held the ball in there, but you probably just couldn't convert as many scores as they would have liked, and Mayo, as you said, just going to hold on now and just run down the clock to the inevitable conclusion.
This is Wicklow's first ever adults national final. They were All Ireland Under 16D Camogie champions in 2021, All Ireland Minor C Camogie champions in 2022. But it's Mayo's day here as well, as they win a second trophy in a row after their Nancy Murray Cup win of 2021. And as we discussed earlier on, you certainly cannot rule out the green and red to be contenders to maybe get to Croke Park, dare I say, later in the year. There's going to be some other big teams in that competition as well. No doubt they'll have plans to do that too, and of course Cavan, one of them, coming up at 3 o'clock here live on the Camogie Association YouTube channel B1. But the referee has blown the final whistle. It is all over, and Mayo are Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 4 champions for 2022. Elaine Aylwood, your overall thoughts?
Yeah, look, from a Mayo point of view, they'll be delighted to have got the victory, and I suppose, look, maybe when they look back on it and start to prepare for a championship, they probably won't be too pleased with just a turnover of one, or a return of 1-2 in that second half. But look, it was a case of job well done at half time, and they knew that any few scores that they could get, I suppose, were going to keep Wicklow just at arm's length. And when that Lisa Scahill second goal went in, it really put the game beyond any doubt, and there wasn't really going to be any Wicklow comeback from there. So it was just a matter of Mayo defending stoutly at the back and seeing it out. As you said, from a Wicklow point of view, look, they'll need to regroup and get prepared for championship, but certainly a lot of learnings in that second half for them, and they'll take a lot of positives from it. They outscored Mayo 1-5 to 1-2 there in that second half, so a lot to build on for the championship for them. They will be disappointed that they felt that poor start again, like they did in the group game, and that they didn't seem to learn from it. But look, conditions again today would have played a huge part in that, and look, I would have just liked to see what might have happened maybe if Wicklow had the benefit of that breeze in the first half, and if they'd been the ones maybe that had been able to get their noses in front. But look, all over the field, I think Mayo probably performed better today and were well deserving of their victory.
And it has to be said too, in the opening quarter in particular, they were well the dominant side. They were well drilled with the attacks they came up with. They got some wonderful scores as well that we'll see in highlights reels, no doubt, as well. And it's a great journey they've been on. We have to remember that when they came back and played Roscommon at the start of last year's league, that was their first game in about 40 odd years as such as well. And here we are talking about a second trophy and possible dark horses come the All-Ireland Championship later in the year.
Look, a Division 4 victory for them, and heading on to Division 3, and that's all positives from them. They're going to build on that, and playing at the higher level in the league next year is going to push them on again. And as we said beforehand, they're such a young team, no baggage, they know nothing, only good days in Mayo adult camogie jerseys, and what a journey it has been for Mayo, and I'm sure they won't be happy to just stop here. They've claimed the league title today, but there's a championship to come, and as we said, they know that they give themselves a real chance in that championship, and they'll fancy their chance against some of the bigger teams, and there certainly won't be a team anyone can take for granted.
They're certainly not a team anybody's going to take for granted, and I think they're working their way up towards the presentation area now, so that's where we're going to go as well. As you can see, the Division 4 League trophy there right in front. Maeve Delaney is going to be picking up that in a moment, and with that being said, we'll be back to you with a bit of reaction hopefully afterwards, or wrap up in this game as well. But Mayo, the champions, they beat Wicklow in a final score here in Kennygad of Mayo 2-14, Wicklow 1-6.
Thanks everybody. Thanks everybody, we won't keep you long, I know it's very cold. Just want to say a very big thank you to Carlstown Kinnegad for the use of their facilities here today. Once again, they've been very generous to us, so we'd really appreciate that. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to present the Littlewoods Division 4 Player of the Match, and the Player of the Match is number 6 for Mayo, Ava Lambert. Thanks everybody. It really was an outstanding game and the skill level was brilliant. I know they're two developing counties, but the lengths that you've come and the steps that you've taken over the last few years was really seen out there on the pitch today with the skill. So congratulations to both teams. You've been outstanding, the hard work that you've put in, and you've come all the way up to Division 4 finals, so well done to both of you. A big thank you to Louise Riley and her match officials, they were outstanding. But it gives me great pleasure to present to Maeve Delaney the Littlewoods Division 4 National League Camogie title to Mayo's captain, Maeve.
First of all, I'd like to thank the ref and the officials for a great game. I'd like to thank Kinnegad for the pitch and Wicklow. It was a really, really tough game. We played you a couple of weeks ago and we knew what you were like, and it was so tough out there. For Wicklow. I'd like to thank our management, Sinead, Jimmy, Pat, Ruth, Maeve, our physio, and I think that's everyone. So thank you. And the girls, you put in massive work so far this year. Massive. Our work rate is the number one thing we talk about, and out there, that's just what you did. You put in 100%, and so yeah, up Mayo.
So welcome back here, and I'm delighted to be joined by Mayo's player of the match, Ava Lambert. And Ava, first things first, the trophies are coming from Mayo.
Yeah, we're really trying to move up like in the divisions and just like keep performing, moving, and better in Camogie and Mayo.
Of course, Mayo only came back last year, and I was delighted to get to see a few games as well. And you're learning as you go along. You win the Nancy Murray Cup, but you come into this competition here as probably favourites as well. You'd beat Wicklow earlier on, but coming into the final, that's always a dangerous position to be in, but you left nothing to chance at the start.
No, we even in the match against Wicklow earlier in the year, they were very tough, and there was really bad conditions on the day, but we knew we'd be up against it today because they're awful physical, and they're we've a very young team, so we'd be quite light as well, but we just knew we had to put in a lot of effort and work rate in the first half, and thankfully we did.
But both of you as well went in for those challenges too, because you're both counties that are moving up the ladder, what you call it. Mayo maybe that's been a step ahead at the moment, and you showed that at the start as well to win those challenges, get the scores on the board.
I suppose we've been after this for a while. We had, as you said, this is only our second year with an adult team, and it's a complete learning curve for everyone going in, we're just keep trying to perform and better ourselves.
Very windy out here, especially against that in the second half when Wicklow were coming back. How difficult was that?
Oh, it was very tough. Those last 10 minutes, I swear to God, lasted forever. I'm sure you noticed we were dead at the end. They got a few nice scores at the end, but we just had to keep just keep ourselves composed at least. And
there was never any danger in the scoreboard as well. Will you get a chance to celebrate this much tonight now, or will the tension already go towards the championship?
They're all celebrating. I'm getting a flight, but I'd say they'll be out till all hours now.
Am I allowed to ask where you get the flight to?
Yeah, Morocco.
Well, I'm going to go let you.
Celebration, why not?
And you know what? Rightfully deserved. Player of the match, a trip to Morocco. What better way to finish an interview? Ava Lambert, well done. I hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you so much.
That was Mayo's player of the match, Ava Lambert, and I'm just looking around for the manager, and there he is right behind me here. We just bring Jimmy Lyons over here, the Mayo Camogie manager. And Jimmy, first things first, congratulations, another trophy of this young Mayo side.
Yeah, thanks very much, Darren. Yeah, we're very happy. We expect a tough game from Wicklow. We did a tough game against them a couple of weeks ago in the group stage of the league. Fortunately, we got the win in the first half and we got a run on them, and it was very difficult with a big lead at half time. It must have been very difficult for them to come out and try to eat into that, so a good start, half the battle.
And you mentioned you had the win, but you have to make use of the win as well, and you left nothing to chance. Some of those scores, I'm not even talking about Lisa's goal either, like Saoirse Delaney out on the left, a wonderful point as well. Finola McLaughlin at the start too. I could name a bunch of players as well. Exactly what you would have wanted to see from the training ground.
Absolutely. We've worked a lot on support play and given the ball to the player in the best position, and you can see that they were always looking up, seeing who was on, and a lot of our points were taken under no pressure because of that. So it is very rewarding when you see what we've worked at on the training ground for the last 3 or 4 weeks coming to fruition on the pitch then, yeah.
And throughout the game as well, and even in the first half when Wicklow had chances too, defensively you were very strong. Ava Lambert player of the match, but many other contenders that side too, because you barely gave Wicklow many scoring chances in that first half.
Yeah, well, this is what the girls pride themselves on. They talk about work rate all the time. They drive that on, and everybody does their job, and if they need help, there's somebody there to help them all the time. So yeah, our defensive work is extremely good, because you have to have a good defence. You can't that's the base of every team sport, really. Get your defence right first, from 1 to 15, and we didn't give them a smell really, and then it starts second half again when it's dangerous time. If they start coming back, if they got a goal or two, you might be in danger, but we played ourselves very well.
You got 2 goals in the game. I'm going to talk about the second one as well, because it just goes to show the reward of keeping chasing after the ball as well. Maeve Delaney sent it across. I think it was Emily Kelly that made sure the ball stayed live, and Lisa Scal, we know what damage she can do. Got 2 today, but that was a good goal, because that was a goal that shows the work rate required.
Absolutely. I think it was Saoirse O'Brien the first half was the one the first half where, she won the ball against 3 Wicklow players. She just kept working and got it over to Lisa, and Lisa has an eye for goal, as we know. She's our chief goal scorer over the last 2 years, and when she sees sight that goal, we know where it's going to end up most of the time, you know.
It's 5 goals as well. Of course, before I let you go, Jimmy, of course, this is the year 2 now of this young Mayo team's return to adult inter-county camogie, and so far there's no signs of it easing up as well. No doubt you let them enjoy this. I know Eamon Lambert said no to Morocco to enjoy it, but a championship around the corner, and dare I say it, and I don't want to be putting X here, but there'll be nobody to fear in that.
No, I mean, we're coming up against, I suppose, the more traditional hurling and camogie counties now in Tipperary, Waterford, Clare, and Cavan again, of course, who are doing so well, moving up through the ranks. So, but these girls want a challenge. They want to see how they can perform against these better counties. So it's great to be in Junior A, and they're looking forward to that. They'll drive on. They'll look forward to the next few weeks now and getting prepared for what we hope. We hope to be competitive in the championship anyway. We'll see what happens then, you know.
We're certainly looking forward to seeing Mayo in that competition. We're going to let you enjoy this one tonight. Littlewoods Ireland Division 4 National Camogie League champions, the second national title for your team, Jimmy. Well done.
Thank you.
That was the Mayo manager, Jimmy Lyons, there talking to me, just bringing Elaine in here before we wrap up our coverage of this game. But just before we finish up, don't go anywhere, because at 3 o'clock we're right back here again for the Division 3 final between Wexford and Cavan. But Elaine, before we get to that, better team won. They showed it especially in the first half, but Wicklow will take an awful lot out of this contest.
Yeah, certainly. Look, Mayo did all the work in that first half. Some of the scores they created were lovely scoring chances, lovely team play right from the half back line all the way up, created some chances and showed what classy forwards they have up front. And look, the work was done at half time for them, and it was just a case of seeing it out. And look, as you said, credit to Wicklow, they made a fight of it in the second half. They outscored Mayo in that second half with the aid of the breeze behind them. And look, I think they'll take a lot of confidence from that going into the Nancy Murray. And as you said, they probably finish with maybe some of their stronger players on the field, so certainly a chance for Sean Fleming maybe and his management team to reassess the team selection and the panel going forward into championship. But certainly, as you said, they'll take confidence from that second half performance. And look, if they hadn't conceded that early lead, I suppose they would have been right in it coming near the end there. And look, it was them putting all the pressure on in the end, but look, every time Mayo could break forward they could get a score, and I suppose that was ultimately the difference.
And it was great to be here as well, because we don't often get a chance to see the Mayos and Wicklows of the world, but great work being done in camogie outside the traditional counties and the counties we're blessed to be from as well. And no doubt the Mayo story is going to continue, and I've no doubt we'll be talking about Wicklow before the end of this year. Absolutely.
Look, I think this year is probably the last couple of years, but certainly today in this Division 4 final will be a huge launch pad for both of those counties, and it's one we'll look back on saying as this was the start of the Mayo journey or the start of the Wicklow journey. So look, it's huge for them, and as you said, it's great to have the 4 divisional finals across the weekend, the same as the club finals earlier in the year, and these players deserve the biggest stage that they can, and it's here today in line with the Division 3 finals. So huge day for them and their families, and as you said, to get the coverage and to get the chance to see these counties firsthand, it's brilliant for everyone, all camogie supporters.
And before we leave the coverage of this particular game, I have to say 2 National League titles going to Connacht.
Yeah, look, as I said to you in commentary, I think there might be a comeback for the Connacht Championship in a couple of years' time. There'll be a couple of Mayo players looking to join the Galway players, maybe on a Gaeling team coming in the years. But yeah, certainly, look, the more teams that are playing the game, the better. And look, as you said, 2 titles going back to Connacht today, so you're a happy man.
I'd certainly like to see a Connacht Championship down the line as well, but I enjoyed that game. Well done to Mayo, Division 4 League champions for 2022. But of course, myself and Elaine are not going anywhere. We might get a cup of coffee in us, because we're getting ready for a big game. We're really looking forward to 2 unbeaten sides, the Littlewoods Ireland Division 3 Camogie League final. Something's got to give. Wexford against Cavan. Join us back here in Kinnegad about 2:50. But to wrap up our coverage on the Division 4 final, Mayo the champions, and we got the score corrected, and we didn't get it corrected. We were right. It was corrected here. It finished Mayo 2-14, Wicklow 1-6.